Hi, welcome to today's Pick a Card, where we will be covering everything you need to know about why this happened. Ooh, I'm getting a strong poke here. This happened for a reason, with a strong focus on spirit guides, spirit team, soul family, because I have been feeling deeply that they have been trying to contact us, me. Something I do want to say to go before these messages is that fear blocks everything. That is a message that I got last night, this rising, and it's something that I will be covering in my nearest to this video energy update. Fear blocks, stops, halts everything. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead into the pick a card section. Today I have items that I picked up and we're going to go from there. I'm going to get the camera this time, so be patient with me, please. All right. So, it's opposite, I think. This is pile 1. This is pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Or maybe it's opposite. Maybe this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Maybe that's like the feeling I've been feeling. Yeah, I think we'll switch it. We'll do this is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. Okay, hopefully you were able to see that. Oh crap. And we can go ahead and get into the reading, okay? Pile number 1 / pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. I wanted to go ahead and start off the bat by saying, when I said, like, if you skip the intro, this is about the reasons this happened, with a heavy focus on messages from your soul family, spirit guides. When they are contacting you, especially right now, it'll feel like a sense of worry. I keep having this like feeling here on the right side, and I know it's connected to someone that I'm energetically connected to, and I feel like it's the same with you. I feel like your guides are trying to get your attention through this connection to someone, whether they want you or whether they're encouraging you to cut someone off energetically, to like take back your energy, take back your power, or they're trying to get you to see something about yourself through this other person. Okay? So if you don't know me, I'm the Bright Queen, also Queen Sensitivity, also Jabria. And here on my channel, I do whatever I want. And depending on how I feel, where my mood goes, we'll use different cards or not. Today, I was called to use different items, which is something I usually don't do. But as I said, I do whatever I want, AKA whatever I'm called to do, whatever I feel guided to do. And this is the one that you got. Yours was the last item I chose, and it was difficult to find. The first 3 items that I chose for the other piles were in one drawer, and they were all next to each other. No matter where I looked, I couldn't find a 4th piece as the first piece. I couldn't find a 4th piece, and I was gonna use these gummies, but it didn't feel right. And finally, when I sat down in this chair, I have my crystals here, and this is one of my crystals, rose quartz. I saw it, and I was like, this is the one I'm gonna use. The message around this is like, the reason that you've been like unable to find what you're looking for, unable to get what you've been chasing, is because you need to return to the start, or you need to or you need to just start. And once you start or return to the start, you'll find, like, it'll be right there, what you were looking for. I believe this is like a Huckleberry Finn something reference. I know it happened in that movie Onward. Um, but yeah, I feel like you're making things more difficult than they need to be, than they actually are. You're forgetting that you are a divine priestess. You're a divine priest. So you don't need to chase. You don't need to go out searching, go out looking, go out hunting for these things. You already have these things. Give me a moment. Okay, I needed to light some Palo Santo because the air is pretty dry, and so I'm hoping that the warmth and the smoke will heat up the air. But I also feel like that's your second message for like why these things are happening, why you're having trouble with your throat. Like you can't talk, and like other people can talk for a long time, but you can't. Like you need a lot of like warm up. You need a lot of tea. You need a lot of, you know, what's it called, those cough drops and things. It's because you need to make these adjustments. And the reason why is because spirit, your highest self, is trying to get you back to the now moment. Like I said, you've forgotten yourself. You've forgotten who you are. And so as such, as you've forgotten that you are the creator, you've been looking outside of yourself for things to create for you. And so by having these little hard times or difficult moments or these inconveniences, it's getting you to focus back with yourself and honestly to stop. I feel like there's a lot of clutter maybe in your space, but certainly in your mind. I kept hearing this phrase from this song by Outkast called Miss Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize, the truth is I. And what's so cool is that I think about 2 months ago or a month ago, Jack Harlow made a song called Miss Johnson, which is like a play on that the Outkast song. It's like, hello, Miss Johnson. You know why I'm calling. You know that I'm falling for your daughter. So there's something like that with these names that I feel like. This is Palo Santo. I'm gonna light it again. I feel like you're thinking that someone is like ashamed of you, or like you owe someone an apology. I feel like you're looking for something to fix, or you're looking for something to heal. But I feel like if you go to this person, or if you were to hear this person's thoughts or inner monologue, they don't hate you. They're not upset with you. It's you who is upset with yourself. It's you that's searching for something, because I feel like you know deep down that if you stopped, everything would be fine. And I feel like you don't want everything to be fine because you feel like you're not enough. And so you're looking for proof of that. One thing that I've like learned or like started to put into practice is to stop following and subscribing to those channels that are like these health nuts, like these people who make all these holistic medicines and herbs and stuff to heal all of the sicknesses without using prescription medication or drugstore medication, over-the-counter medication. The reason that I stopped, and I know to stop watching them, is because I know that if I'm constantly researching and discovering ways to heal some sort of ailment, I'm also simultaneously manifesting that something to heal. And I feel like that's what you're doing by constantly searching, being out of stillness, out of sync, out of flow. You're also creating these little inconveniences, which is why I always say, like, your soul team, your highest self, spirit, God, is really always just you, you know? It's just you. I don't know if this is like working to like warm up the air or not. With this item in particular, this is a facial roller that I got a long time ago, and it came with this stick that you're supposed to screw on. But for some reason, I was like irritated with that piece. And so I would always take it off. And now I've lost it. And so I feel like that's also something like what you don't practice, you lose. You know, like how they say, like, once you know how to ride a bike, you'll always know how to ride a bike. But I feel like it's important that you ride the bike to remember, not just to prove that to yourself that you can ride it, but to remember the feeling of the freedom of being able to ride it. Because like I said, I feel like you've been giving a lot of your power away to things outside of yourself. Let me go outside of myself to this person who can give me the love and the attention and the connection that I'm looking for. Let me go outside of myself to watch how this other person started their career so I can learn how to start mine. And really what it's doing is like, you're just procrastinating. And that's what I was feeling a lot before starting this reading. Like, I knew I wanted to do it and I knew I wanted it to look like this, but then when I set it up, I was like, oh, maybe I should like do it with the camera facing the cards. And I know now that I couldn't have done it with the camera facing the cards because there might not be no cards. I'm gonna be talking a lot during this one. And I feel like that's also a thing. It's like we get so caught up in thinking the cards, the tarot cards, or whatever the dice, whatever people use, is the magic. But those things are not the magic. We are the magic. You know, that saying, it's like if a tree falls in the forest, no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. And the answer is no. If we are not there to observe it, it does not exist. And this is something that's like proven with like that advanced science shit. If we are not there, the creator, to watch or behold our creations, they do not exist. So these things are not important outside of ourselves. We are the reasons that they even exist. We give them importance. So I feel like going back to the analogy of riding a bike, or like what you don't practice, you lose. This piece that was supposed to be here is lost. It's time for you to go back. Like I said at the beginning, go back to the start, or start searching again for what you already had or what you have. And this is not necessarily a physical thing. It's something within you, like a lost or buried treasure. What I'm getting also is that movie Epic with the very small like fairy people. And I remember there was a thing where they were in a different dimension than the humans. And so what it showed up like was that the humans were slower and they ran faster. Like their time ran faster than the human. And there was a scene with a flyer. The human man was trying to catch one of the fairies or catch a fly, and it was in slow motion. And it kind of explained like that's how the fly was always able to escape, because it was ahead. And I feel like you have that advantage of being able to be ahead, but you've been dumbing and slowing and watering yourself down to fit in with this group of humans, but that's not where you belong. That isn't to say that you're not human or that there's anything innately sinister or inorganic about humans, but it is to say that you're not supposed to fit into certain crowds that you're trying to fit into. So let's get into what is actually happening for this reason. Besides like these little things, like I said, like these little inconveniences, what is actually happening? So this is a major arcana deck that I made myself with the Fawahodie symbol of the African Adinkra symbols. So I feel like either you are African or you have like a close connection to African countries. I just heard like Swahili. So maybe any place where they speak Swahili. Perhaps the islands as well, like the Afro Islands, the Caribbeans and such. So we have the other Emperor card. Fighting, not listening, dismissive. Yeah. I feel like there have been signs in your reality. Like the reason this is happening, like I'm seeing like you're in a coffee shop and you spill your coffee, or they get your order wrong, like little things like this, and they have to remake it and it makes you late, or you try to go to the movies but you accidentally like showed up at the wrong time or bought the wrong ticket or something, these little errors, and it's because you're not paying attention. And I feel like one of the reasons why these little things are happening is because you're not being called right now to go out much and to be super active. 15:55 on the timer. If you've been seeing number 55, and even this 5, you know, this in this number 4, it's still a 5 here, but it's like 1 back from 5 to make it 4. Like go back, like calm down. Like I feel like you've been trying to do your normal usual routine, but it's not appropriate right now to be doing that. And I will be making this video slightly longer than usual because I feel called to. What I'm also seeing in my mind's eye right now is that movie, The Creator, and in there's like different races and ethnicities. So I feel like you are, if you're not mixed, you do, like you don't know it, but you do have like the DNA of some subgroup that's important right now in particular. Because I was looking up actually before like I started this, what's his name? Celtic C, that UK rapper. I was like, he looks black, but I'm like, I don't know. And he's turns out he's mixed with Guyanese and Chinese and, you know, white British. So there's something like that that's important now. And I feel like you've been like dismissing it, even though it keeps popping up in your reality. You need to stand up, be the emperor, and face it. You have the Chariot. Look at that, like that racing, accountability, Stormbringer, vitality. Yeah, I feel like with that extra emphasis on the Stormbringer, like if you're speeding down a road fast, you're gonna make a dust storm behind you. You're gonna kick up dirt. You're gonna kick up things that you didn't necessarily need to like experience. If you'd been going the speed limit, the dirt behind the car wouldn't be as dramatic, but because you've done it so dramatically, that's why this is happening. Now you've blown a tire. Now a rock has hit your windshield. And this is what I've been saying, the theme throughout your reading. Oh wow, the Empress. This is just a normal Empress. Feeling guilty, insecure, trespassing. Or maybe it's not, maybe it is the other Empress. And I just forgot to write it, I don't remember. I feel like this one has to do with family. Like I feel like maybe you have like commitments that you've made to your family, but you know you're not meant to keep them. But I feel like you keep trying to, out of like guilt and this false sense of loyalty. It's that song, I forgot the name of the song, but it's a Beyonce song where she's like, but every promise don't work out that way. Dishes smashed on my counter from our last encounter. Picture snatched out the frame. Bitch, I scratched out your name and your face. What is it about you that I can't erase it, baby? But every promise don't work out that way. Yeah, So for some of you, it could be a romantic partner, like that type of family, like your spouse, or just somebody that you've grown really close to who is not biologically related to you. And you made a promise to them, like, I'm gonna be with you, I'm gonna be there for you, but you know you can't keep that promise. And I feel like a way that you can view this is that that old self of you, that frequency of you that made that promise, no longer exists. They're not around no more. So you are a new you. This new version of you does not mesh with that promise. You have to break it. And if you want, you can have a ceremony. You can have I feel like you're afraid that they won't understand how much you wanted this and how much you didn't want to break it, how much you wanted to keep it. And I keep fearing that someone is going to call me and like interrupt this video. What is that? Is someone like calling you to interrupt this video? It's such a strange feeling, this fear of like being interrupted, and then like it won't be continuous. Like if someone calls me, this video won't be continuous, and I will basically lose the footage because I'm not gonna take this video and edit it afterwards because it takes too long and it just makes the process stressful. But like if someone calls me, it'll ruin it. And I feel like whomever this person is to you, they're ruining something for you, but you've been letting them because of the promise. But it's really important that you don't ruin whatever it is, even if it's just your peace of mind. The other world card, approaching cliff, the fool, ungrounded, and being tested. The being tested part, I feel like pretty much comes in terms of like, are you ready for this new phase that you've prayed for? And if so, like, what are you gonna do about it now that this pattern is showing up? Are you gonna break it or are you gonna continue? And I feel like the catch with being tested is that the universe always says yes to whatever you want. So the catch is that you already have been granted this wish. You're already in the new timeline. It's just a matter of, are you two gonna suffer in this new timeline? I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like it can be hard to perceive, like if the money hasn't come in, if the new house or new car hasn't come in, if the new health insurance hasn't come in, it's hard to be like, oh, how does the universe say yes if it's not here? But it's like the energy, the potential of it, that storage, that energy boost package is already there. It's just a matter of like, are you going to continue to choose to ignore it and to keep walking by it like it's not for you? Like I remember this has happened to me a couple of times where like I'll go into the shower and I'll turn the shower on and I'll turn on the light and I'll close the door and then I'll forget that I turned it on. And so I'll keep checking to when the person in the shower is going to finish so I can go in. And the whole time I'm waiting, thinking that it's somebody else in there taking the turn. It's my turn. You just forgot about it. And so that's what I mean by like, the universe always says yes, like the door is open, but like, are you gonna like listen to that false sense of security and like keep convincing yourself that somebody else is in there when it's supposed to be you? While you're here, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave a comment if this is resonating. You are welcome to support me via donation. There's a link in the description. But either way, I'm thankful for you being here, and I hope this reading is resonating. Let's continue. You have the moon. You have the other moon. All of these cards are the other ones, except for like the chariot. The other moon, awaiting results, fearful of time, hidden ease. Like I said, I just said this about the shower, hidden ease. For some of you, and I'm sorry if this is triggering, maybe you just found out that you're pregnant, or like you're waiting for the results of something like that. It could be like an illness, like you're waiting to see if you have it, if you're testing positive for something. If you are, I'm sending my love to you. And I would also like to inform you that I have a healing sound bath available on my Ko-fi page. And I'm not just saying this, but that shit works. I always like try not to listen to it because I sometimes fear like hearing myself or being seen. But that shit work. It clears my energy out and it like grounds me and like makes me feel refreshed. So whenever I'm like stressed, I do try to go back and listen to it. This healing frequency sound bath. So this could be also the reason why this is happening, or this happened for this reason, is like these results. Like it's to shift your reality. I'll give you an example, like Jasmine Thompson, just a queen, all around queen. She's so talented, but people in her family got these horrible diagnoses, and so her whole family changed how they ate, even though she didn't have the disease or the terminal illness. So this could be someone else in your family who has this or is pregnant and it's inconvenient. It changes you via proximity. And that's why this happened around you, because you needed to shift and you weren't doing it. And so this was the closest way that they, your higher self, your spirit team, could get you to make this shift without too many like consequences. And if you're worried about like this other person experiencing this, their soul also consented to this for themselves and also on your behalf. But to anybody struggling, suffering, I'm sending you the purest form of love. Then you have the death card. Rock and roll, basic as death, and memories. I'm hearing that song Memories by Nicki Minaj. But there's also one by, or no, it's called Moments, I think, by Red Clay Strays. Moments. Excuse me. I feel like you're having a rebirth, death moment. Or it could be that someone has died or is on their way out. If this is the case, I do want to say, obviously, my condolences, but also we need to reframe death, because death in that way, in sense of like the human body, isn't real. The soul lives on forever. It's really just a transition back home. Like think of it as people are going back home to their true homes, to where they know and remember all of their lives and themselves, where they can never be sick again, where they can heal all their traumas and wounds and meet up with their loved ones. View it in that way, because that's what it is. So if this has happened, or if it's just your old self dying, the old you that made this promise, this is the reason why. It's all to shift you. It's all to turn you and tweak your direction, because I feel like you were getting a little bit off path. But you made a promise to your highest self, to your soul. You signed not a contract, but like you made a pledge, or like you set an intention when coming here, when reincarnating here, to do something. And I feel like you said, like, no matter what, keep pushing me to do this thing, to be this person. Even if it pains me, if it looks like this, I can do it. And this is something that I always say, like, to my friends and stuff when we're having a hard time as light workers. I always say, like, imagine there's this horrible prison and they need to send someone in who will have compassion for the inmates, but also be strong enough to do what needs to be done, who would they send? They would send the best. They sent you. And I'm going to end your reading like that. So as I said, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you feel called to do so. You're welcome to support me monetarily if you feel called to do so. To check out my sound bath, soul bath healing, share this video if it resonated with you. And I will see you next time. Bye. Pile 2. I thought it was gonna be a struggle to like get into your energy, but then I started hearing messages, so it wasn't. So I feel like that's also a message for you. Like you feel like it's gonna be a struggle to do something, and then like it won't be. I heard like someone's getting a job. It's gonna be a good paying job, more than you've ever made. But if it's not you, I feel like it doesn't have to be you. It just has to be someone close to you where it will impact you. So it could be your partner, could be your parents, could be your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, your best friend. It could be the company you work for that are like, they're getting more money allocated to them. And so through that, you get like more benefits. Like you get more paid vacation days, you get increased health insurance benefits, maybe a company car, like something like that close to you where there's going to be a monetary increase, a financial boost for you. So congratulations. And if you feel this coming but it hasn't happened yet, type 333 and 222 or 222 for group pile 2, but I feel like either one is fine. 222 333 in the comments to affirm and to further connect with this energy. For you, I feel much lighter than I did with the first pile, and it's this feeling of like, I never thought this energy would lift, but it has. So I feel like whatever space you're in right now, pile 2, you've definitely like earned it. Like I feel like you've been through hell, you've been through high water, the fire, and like now you have this moment or this phase of peace. I'm feeling like Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think that's a band. I'm also getting like The Neighborhood, their album, like Colored in Chrome. And now my legs are like cold. Let me get this blanket. That's so weird, my legs getting cold like that. But anyways, with this one, I don't know who the hell this belongs to. It was just downstairs, but it's one of those poppy things for the kids. I feel like the message for you that's coming through, because if you skip the intro, I said this is going to have a heavy emphasis on messages from spirit guides, spirit team, your highest self. They want you to take life less seriously. Don't take it so seriously. Please, like, see it more as a game. Laugh about things more. Like, don't let it harden you so much. Because I feel like sometimes when we get into our pessimism, we can see things as like curses or like hate or spite that are not that. Like, for example, my sister, a lot of the times, like I'll do something like take her phone off the charger and she sees it as like, oh, I must have been out to get her and had a personal vendetta against her. But I thought it was somebody else's phone, my mother's phone, who wouldn't care. And so it's like this miscommunication. Like, don't assume that like something or people are out to get you and hurt you. Sometimes they're just not. I feel like most of the time they're not. It's just a matter of perception. So I feel like you need to, like, the reason that some of these things happen, like while you're in this lighter space now, start getting into habits to facilitate this kind of thinking, because I'm feeling like it's not going to happen on its own. Like, I feel like you're waiting for life to continue to just pour out these beautiful things, and then you'll believe, and then you'll be more lighthearted. But it's like, no, people who live lives like that, who have these lighthearted lives, these easy lives, is because most of the time, because there's been a lot of fuckery. It's some of the time, mostly when it's genuine, is because they think in this very lighthearted way. That's how they are. That's the energy that they bring to the table. So it doesn't mean that they haven't been through the ringer. It's how they react to how they to the ringer. There's these books by Tracy Wolf. There's like Crave, Crush. I think it's the third book, because I think I read the first 3. And the last book, they go to this prison, and it's like they're in this wheel, I think, and their prison cell gets like shifted around. I feel like look into that book. Tracy Wolf. Yeah. The third book of the Crave or Crush series, whatever. So you can do this with little habits, like obviously affirmations. I'm working on an affirmations video today, so be on the lookout for that one. That'll be posted on this page, the Bright Queen page, affirmations, and then there'll be an extended version on my Ko-fi page. Affirmations, and like surrounding yourself with the likeness of that which you want. So an example could be talking more to that friend who's more lighthearted, or being closer to that family member who has this jovial outlook, or watching cartoons like Bluey with little kids who don't take stuff seriously, who see everything as an opportunity to play or for a game to be made out of something. Going to the park and like just letting your inner child take over. I need to go to the park, to be honest. I really do. It's been a while. I need to go to the park. Things like that. Okay. So with you, yeah, I'm just gonna go with my first instinct. So speaking of why is this happening, we're gonna figure out what this is. I feel like there's someone who misses you, who you think doesn't miss you. There's this, let me see if I can find it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I found it. There's this tiny, tiny piece of smoky quartz that I have. Smoky quartz to me relates to Mercury, which is like the planet of communication. But it's this small piece, but I never lose it. For some reason, I never lose this small piece of smoky quartz. And I feel like I'm here like the faith of a mustard seed. Like there's someone who misses you, or some sort of connection that's romantic or platonic, where you think that because of something it's over, that they don't think about you, they don't want you, but they do. They're just being quiet right now. You know how like Mercury goes into retrograde and everybody's like fucked, you know? Like communication is like way off. Like it's that. Like it's just the time. Like the communication is just off. It's not over. It's not, they don't hate you. It's something else. So maybe that's the thing that's happening. Now this is a crystal. I don't know the name of it, but they told me that these crystals are good for travel. So maybe this person is traveling, or they have to move, or something with their housing or their car, the license, something like that is bothering them. And that's where like 80% or 89% of their energy is going. Maybe that number 89 is important. The number 9 is like endings, like things coming, wrapping up, things coming to a close. So like that's what's going on, and it's not so much like anything to do with you. What is this thing? What is this thing? Okay, one more, please. Excuse me. One more, please. So the bottom of the deck, you have the World card. And I was asking them to show me cards I don't usually see. Because I feel like the energy tends to get really repetitive with these cards. But this is one I haven't seen in a while. The World card. So I feel like, why is this happening? Is this card not so much what this thing is that's happening? I feel like the thing that's happening is this communication issue with you and someone, this miscommunication, this misunderstanding. It's happening for one to like put you back into the energy of like being psychic or being like intuitive. Like they want you to get back into the habit of like divinity, divine work. Because if I'm betting you've been watching readings like this. You've been watching pick-a-piles, you've been watching pick-a-cards, you've been pulling your own tarot cards, you've been asking for signs from the universe, maybe asking friends and stuff about this issue. Why is this person not talking to me? Why is there this distance? Why do they feel differently? Why have they emotionally checked out? It's getting you back into that world, because I feel like you might have been pulling out of it. No innuendo intended. You've been backing out of it. And I feel like also the reason why, because I'm getting this from myself, like this is something that I've done where like you were like doubting this connection. And it's not to say that this connection is like the end all be all, like your person. But I feel like you were supposed to be more emotionally available and be more emotionally open and not so like safe and cautious. I feel like you were being too cautious and like not open enough. And I feel like maybe you felt like you were being too open or feeling too much. But I feel like the point of this connection was to open back up your heart chakra, to get you back singing and the birds back flying. And I feel like you got comfortable, or you retreated, or you closed it back up a bit. And so for this person, this energetic block or this communication block may be for their own purposes, but for you, it's to get you to see the importance of remaining open. Because with divinity, it has to do with the third eye. Like you see this person ain't looking, they're not looking down at the ball. They're like looking ahead, but they have this thing on in their third eye. It's like that's where you see from your third eye. You might be seeing cyclopses or mentionings of one eye, or glasses or contacts or sunglasses, shades, to get your attention, to make you remember to see with your heart and not just these eyes, or not be so logical. I feel like somebody here speaks Spanish or speaks a different language. So we have Knave of Swords and Three of Swords. So this is communication. Anybody who knows me, who knows the Bright Queen, I always associate the swords, which in this case is like mostly feathers, with communication. Like if you think about, what was it, Archangel Gabriel, the messenger angel, or just angels in general, like messengers, messages, communication. I feel like with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you need to be brave and express your truth to yourself in a very vulnerable way. How do you really feel about this person? What do you really want from this connection or your dream connection? Because I feel like we can get caught up in asking for what we think is possible versus what we actually want. So maybe get a diary, get a journal, and like start writing down, or get out your voice recording app and confess to yourself what's really bothering you, what you really want, and not just the polite thing to say, or the appropriate thing to say, or the appropriate amount to ask for. All of these cards came out in twos. besides the bottom of the deck, obviously, but everything else came out in twos. Like, there is a connection here where you're supposed to be together. I feel like for a lot of people, you're not like over with this person. Some people might be definitively over, but even if it's not with this person, I feel like this year, even though everything is happening now and we live outside of time, this year is going to be really about romantic or partnerships with you. Like, it's a heavy focus on this. And I feel like the reason why is because you haven't really had one get off the ground before, like me. Like, not like you haven't had one that like got off the ground and ran. And that's because of childhood trauma and like karmic lessons, and I feel like spells and contracts that have been like put on you, and like karmic attacks putting you in these cycles. So this year, the year of 9, is going to be like about getting all that guck out, getting it out of the gears and grinders so it can free flow. Specifically in this area of romantic partnerships is going to be heavy emphasis. There is a heavy emphasis on that this year. So if you feel like you're being dumb or like wasting your time being in love or like focusing too much on partnerships, that's not true. This year is catered to that because it's been avoided and like humbled so much and played and fucked with so much in the past. This is the year where you need to clear it out. And obviously that all starts within you, but it's hard. And this is like something that I've experienced. It's hard to like heal something if you don't have somebody else to like pull the triggers and the trauma out of you. Like, you know what I mean? It's not impossible, but it's more difficult in my experience. My eyes are like burning. Are you like around smoke or something? Or like the windows down? Or maybe need to go to sleep? Another knave, another knight of pentacles. So I feel like this person, irregardless of gender or regardless, I never know which one to use, is a gentleman. They are a gentleman. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why this behavior is happening. Yeah, because we have the 6 of Swords in reverse. 6 is the number I associate with like love. And so it's in reverse with swords, like speaking about love in reverse. Like with the Knight of Pentacles, the Knave of Pentacles, it's like, and then like that's the action in real life. The reason it's being more slowed down is because they're so gentlemanly. They don't want you to have 50% of them. They don't want you to have 25%. They want to give 100%, but they are not at 100%. Temporarily, momentarily. I feel like these are key words, Miss Impatient, Mr. Impatient, whoever's watching. You might be a fire sign or one of those impatient signs like me. I'm very impatient. They don't want to give you half-ass. They don't want to give you like laziness. They want to be fully in tuned, fully present, giving you 100% like you've seen. I feel like you've seen them be this way. And so because they are these knights, these gentlemanly people, they will just simply back off and give you 0% if they can't give you 100%. And it's not a fault of yours. In fact, that's a sign that they really like you and respect you. And also a sign of like their own integrity. This one is so pretty. I feel like they think you're so pretty. Your hair and how you dress, your clothes, your skin. And then there's this little baby dragon here that's like looking up and admiring them. Like they want to know your ways. But no, beneath that is another swords. A lot of swords. 4 swords. They want to know your ways, your spiritual ways. Like, how do you do this? What cards do you use? What do they mean? And they really like that about you. Again, my eyes are burning. Have you been like crying? What's going on? Somebody smoking? I don't like smoke. I was just using Palo Santo smoke to like warm up the air for my throat. Really, I should be doing like vocal warm-ups before these, because I wake up and then I don't talk, and then I do these long ass readings. But I don't know. I get impatient. I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. Last two. Yeah. Strength and Two of Swords. Yeah. The reason this is happening, plus the reasons I said earlier, is so you can like build up your strengths, like exercise this muscle so you can become stronger. Because I feel like either in this connection or one in the future, you will need to have faith. And I feel like because of this, what I was saying earlier, it could be like something with a long distance relationship, or it could just, like I said, it doesn't have to be with this relationship, but this relationship is warming you up for this. It could be you have to like leave your family, leave your hometown for work, or somebody might have to leave your hometown. Somebody in your family might have to move for work, or a child of yours might have to go to college or boarding school. And you will need to have faith that even though you can't see with your eyes, your third eye will be open and know that all is well, despite what it looks like, despite what other people may say it's like. All these swords, that's so incredible. I didn't even try to do this. Like, all of these cards are paired with swords. Knight and swords. Knight and swords. Major arcana, strength and swords. And then I say fire signs. The strength card is associated with Leo. You have to trust in yourself. Like, I feel like this is you, and like this has to be your faith. Unmoved, unshooketh, believing. For some reason, I'm getting in my mind like Zendaya when she said like the Beyonce's people came in. Oh, I just got a pinch here. Like, for asking her to be in the Lemonade film. And she was like, I didn't believe that it was Beyonce. But like, she went anyways, like even though she didn't believe it was Beyonce really. And I feel like that's what you need to do. Like, when you get an invitation or something appears, walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, you have to believe that it's a duck, even if it flies away. You have to believe, you have to have faith. And I feel like one way to do this is to busy yourself with your divinity. Like, do more research. Like, even this is paired with swords. Do more research, like learn more things, like create your own oracle deck or tarot deck. Somebody's been waiting on me to say that. Create your own deck. Like, create your own rituals or ceremonies or potions or spells or sayings or affirmations. Like, dive into that in the meantime. And then I feel like also this is a sign to like practice like meditation, practice getting out of your body so you can have access to people that you love, even when they're not physically around you, because we always have access to everything all the time. And that's what I kept saying about time. Like, it's happening now. Don't ever like get out of your power and like start to think that like you can't have something, because as God, you can. So I'm gonna get one more card, but before we go, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. Check out my sound bath on my Ko-fi page, and get a reading with me. If you don't trust me yet, I have readings that are $11 that are more tailored to the general public, but they are like more, they tend to hit home from what I've heard from people. So get one of those. It's a sensitivity kit, okay? $11. Just email me. My email is in the description. Any last minute message for pile 2? Yes or no? No? A lot of them dropped to the floor, but I'm gonna take just the one. Ah, another knight. Knight of Cups. Lots of knights. So this is what I'm saying. Like, this person is gonna return. And like I said, this doesn't mean that this person will be end all be all. For some people, it could. It could be the end all be all. You stay with them forever. But that doesn't mean that it's not important. And it doesn't mean that you can enjoy and love this person still forever. There is a return. Like, they're gonna like be more emotionally available. They just are. They're going to show up. And I feel like they're gonna look nice. I feel like this person is like I said, they want to do things right. They want to get a haircut. They want to smell good. They want to look good. They want to have on clean, fresh clothes when they approach you. They don't want to be dusty because they've been waking up late because they've been depressed and not brushing their teeth. Like, they want to come to you with pearly whites. Let them come to you with pearly whites. Like, don't accept less, even from them. They won't give it to you. I feel like this is also a lesson from Spirit, from your highest self, from God, to like stop accepting less. Allow yourself to receive more, even if it means waiting or being a little bit more patient. Like, another swords. 10 of Swords. Wow. Yeah, I feel like you hurt yourself a lot with a lot of thoughts and pessimism when you don't get like instant proof of your manifestations, which I feel like is like very fiery, signy. Okay, so that's all for you, pile 2. Don't forget what I said earlier. Get the sensitivity kit, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. I'm getting kind of tired. Go take a nap. I feel you're tired, like get the eyes burning. Go take a nap. Go to sleep. Bye. Pile 3 or pile 2. If my introduction is anything to go by, if you pick this bracelet, this is yours. I was hearing the Glorilla lyrics where she was like, the be so kinetic. I ain't have to use no da. I think it's from that song I Love Her with T-Pain. It's a romantic song. And also, this is a friendship bracelet that was given to me at the Taylor Swift Eras tour premiere. It says Tim McGraw. When you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song. So there might be romance here as well. This is a Palo Santo, by the way. Okay, Green Aventurine. So, Green Aventurine, and you have the full card that came out. It was on the bottom of the deck when I was getting out the deck from the box. It just came out. There's a call for you to be, like, to just go with it. There's a name, I think that's the name of a Adam Sandler movie. Just go with it. With Jennifer Aniston. Like, Jennifer Aniston movies would be great to watch right now. Jennifer Aniston and any of those like couple movies with Adam Sandler. So if you didn't watch the introduction, I was saying how this pickup pile is going to be obviously the reason why this happened, or this happened for a reason, but also with a heavy focus on messages from guides, from spirit guides and like soul family, because I've been feeling presence. I've been feeling beings around me. And like, I want to say this is like one of the things that I heard, like, fear stops everything. Like, the moment that you get into fear and become afraid of beings on the other side, because it's just, it could just be your uncle, like, it could just be your mom, like, it could just be like your sister from another lifetime, from another star planet, and like you think it's like the devil, and so like you freak out and become fearful and you shut it down and you can't hear them and they're just trying to help you, and perhaps you even asked for help. Like me, all the time I ask to see things, and then like something happens, and then like I can get in fear, not too often, but I feel like I do, and I miss out. And so I feel like that's where the Fool card is coming in, and also like this Green Aventurine. I feel like I've forgotten the meaning of this crystal or like the benefits of it, but I'm feeling like obviously it opens your heart chakra, and I feel like it makes you more receptive to positive life experiences, because I feel like that's what it's all about, like receptivity. Beautiful things, like right now the lighting is changing. Beautiful things happen all the time. It's just a matter of like whether or not we're receptive to them, like we receive them. Like if it's raining outside, are you appreciating the rain? Do you get excited when you see it? Are you excited for the sun to come out? Or are you just like, you know, it happens all the time. And this even has the color of like the Green Aventurine. It's like a huge focus here on the heart and the throat chakra. I feel like you might have messages in pile 2 as well. So I knew immediately when I got into the energy of your group that we're going to use this Wild Unknown Tarot. I feel like you should either get this deck or the other deck by Kim Krans. I know she has at least another one, but I feel like you need to get her decks in particular. Ooh, okay then. Son of Pentacles. What's going on? Pile number 3. I feel like it's hard to like gauge where you are, because I feel like the energy wants to be very positive and bright and uplifted, but I also feel this pain, and I feel like it's for a very valid reason. So what's this thing that's happened? 5 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 6 of Wands, and then the Judgment card. Whew. So for someone here, or maybe for all of you, I'll phrase it like this so it can be for all of you, if not majority. Someone else got what you wanted. Someone else got your prize, and that is devastating to you. I remember when I was in high school and I wanted to be this, like, I wanted to be Sandy from Grease. Like, that was my dream. I was like, I want to be Sandy from Grease, where all the boys stop everything they're doing and like look at me because I'm so magnetic. And I remember there was this one girl who like my crush used to talk about all the time. Like, she was just this magical creature. And I finally saw her like in the hallway one day at school, and she was so different from me, but like so similar. But I knew I could never like have what she had, because I feel like what she had was a lot of self-hate. And so it's like this feeling of like not getting like the prize or the person that you wanted, because you like everything you are just goes against the requirements for that. So like I said, I made it general, but it could be anything. It could be like a job or opportunity that you want. Like my nose is getting stuffy now. We're like, I'm gonna hold these up now. Yeah, a lot of like roses. When it's all roses, portrait poses, Central Park Lake and tiny rowboats. The Bolter by Taylor Swift. Whew. But it's like, the job required that you like work 50 hours a week or 40 hours a week, like downtown, which is like an hour away, and like you can't do it because if you do that, then you won't be able to like be home in time to get your siblings or your children from school. You won't be able to cook dinner. Like it just comes with too many repercussions where you can't do it, but you wanted it, but it had to go to somebody else. And I'm gonna say this, it's very cliche, but like God's rejection is your protection. Say it again with me. God's rejection is your protection. Go ahead and subscribe, share, and leave a comment and like the video. Want to say that, like do all those things. Subscribe, share, leave a comment, like the video. Do them now. But yeah, I feel like it's just as simple as that. And I feel like however you're feeling now, like severely disappointed, something didn't work out, like I said, you didn't get what you wanted, feel sad about that. Like it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel disappointed. You can have a funeral for it if you want. I feel like never stop being dramatic when you need to be dramatic. I feel like it's better to go ahead and get it all out rather than like pretend it didn't bother you for like months or like, you know, weeks, like have it brewing in the background, that bitterness, versus like you have one day where you set aside the time to have a little burial for this life, for this opportunity that you wanted that you didn't get, this person that you didn't get. Say, you know, your, what's it called, eulogy, whatever, and like do the whole shebang. All these cards seem sad. That's where Taylor Swift comes in. Go listen to Taylor Swift. I also make songs, by the way. If you want a personal reading, you just email me. The email is in the description. You have Daughter of Wands. This card keeps coming out a lot. So the number 8 is important. Wheel of Fortune. Wow, look at that. And then 8 of Wands. Wow. See? God's rejection is your protection. There's going to be another better opportunity. Just like in high school, there were better people than the person I wanted. There were, you know, would have provided me with better experiences had I gotten what I wanted at that time and like dated him. I feel like it would have been disastrous. I'm so happy I didn't. There will be better opportunities. There will be better things, which is like easier said than like done, or easily said than accepted. So I feel like the message right now is to just like keep calm. What's those shirts? Keep calm and live on. Those little shirts that say like keep calm and do something, like that's the vibe. Like keep calm and live on to live another day. Like just keep calm for now. Like don't, like I said, like have the emotions, get them out. But like every day when you wake up, don't think about how you've lost this or how something has gone wrong. I'm so sorry my dog is like going haywire. It's because somebody just arrived. Which I feel like speaks on this 8 of Wands card. Lightning striking. I feel like this is going to be one of those things, and I feel like I'm not going to get a lot of information on it because it's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be one of those things where like you're just casually doing something, and probably something that you typically don't do, and it's just going to hit. It's either going to be like an idea that you have to do something, or you're going to meet someone, or you'll get a call and you get a better job or something else that ends up suiting you better. It's just going to be very like effortless. So just like keep calm and carry on. That's the one. Keep calm and carry on. I don't know, I'm getting like country music. I don't know a lot of country artists. Everybody's country now. Lana Del Rey, Post Malone, Billy Ray Cyrus, Dolly Parton. I would say even like Whitney Houston. I don't know. Like listen to pour your heart out, storytelling music as you process this loss, this grief. So for you, I think we're just gonna get right into messages from your guides, which is like a divergence from the typical pattern I've been doing, but I feel like we've gotten to why this happened. It's because something better is coming. Something better. Look at the light came out, see? So what are some messages for the guides of Pile 3, the Timbergrawlians? Message from the guides of Pile 3, the Timbergrawlians. To be honest, I'm tired. I'm tired. Okay. Seven of Cups. They want you to broaden your horizons and be more lavish in like what you expect and what you want. So let's say this was a house. 1111. Let's say this was a house that you wanted to get. The house got bought by somebody else. Broaden your horizons to perhaps a different state, perhaps a different county, perhaps a different zip code, perhaps a different country. Broaden it and look into different types of houses. Like, see which houses are next to state forests or close by like a bakery you love or a restaurant you love. Like, look more into specific details that'll synchronize and line up more cohesively with who you truly are and what you deeply value. And I feel like these cards have like question marks on them. They don't, but I feel like they do. So I feel like there's like mysteries and surprises like that you don't see coming because you can't. So it's okay. Just be sad now, you know, be in your feels. 10 of Wands. I'm feeling like it feels like hell because it is, but like hell is useful. I always say in this series, I need to read the next book, but I don't know why I haven't yet. In the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas, the second book, there's this prince from hell. And eventually, spoilers, we find out that the prince from hell was just a different, like, a planet in a different dimension that got taken over by these bloodsuckers, these parasitic beings who sucked all the life out of it and left it like that. Like, it wasn't this innately horrible place. It was a place that got turned into that. So I feel like if it feels like hell right now, this feeling really fucking sucks. Like, it's because like it's serving a purpose, but it's not. Like, fire is itself and heat itself is not innately bad. It's just boiling right now to cook something out. I don't know if I've like described this the best way. I just like those books a lot. I like the perspective that they had of hell in that book. 6 of Wands. It's a huge V for victory. Lift up. Damn. 2 victories, 2 V's. Have you been seeing the letter V or the Roman numeral 5? You're getting what you want, what you didn't know you wanted. Like, you're getting something better. Oh, I'm tired. Oh my gosh. Why am I so tired? The Devil. This was in reverse. So it's like you're breaking the chains of like limitations that you've had in the past. Like, you wanted someone tall, dark, and handsome. You got someone medium height. Like, medium height, medium tone skinned, and medium handsomeness. Like, but you wanted more. but I feel like your energy was giving off, I'll accept whatever. You know, it's okay. As long as they're decent. But it's like, no, you can have all of it. And I also feel like this is like within you, like maybe putting out mediocre content and not like really investing in yourself. Like breaking that cycle of like limiting how much you invest in yourself. Three of Wands. I don't know why I feel like this is a magic trick, like tossing sticks up in the air or blowing fire. So I feel like the message from your guides, it's like some things are performative. So if let's say this is like a new couple that got the house that you wanted. Like you're like, oh, look at them. Like, how do they get the perfect marriage? And then they got the perfect house. Like, it's not what it looked like. It's performative. It's not true. It just looked like it is. Like, don't envy something where you don't know what's really going on. Like I said with that girl from high school, like I feel like she had like a fucked up life. Like I feel like her life was hard. But like in the moment, like, I don't know, before I saw her, I would have traded, like switched my life. But then when I saw her, I was like, I'm good with me. I like myself. I'm gonna take my life, you know? So that's what the message I'm getting here from your guides. Five of Coins. It's like a maze, and this was in reverse. Don't overcomplicate this. Like if you feel like, oh, now I need to apply for 1 million more jobs or apply for 1 million more houses, don't do all that. Like I said, this is gonna be like, you can do light research as long as you're feeling good about it, like if you're feeling positive. But the moment that you feel like you're working or you're forcing it, just stop. This is gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be a call that you get where you're walking around. Inspiration that instantly strikes. This is going to happen naturally. You can't force this. You have to go with the flow, is the message from your guides. Last one is the Page of Swords. It looks like this person is like bending over backwards. The message I feel like from this one is like, let those who need to make these calls to you and who need to come towards you, let them bend over backwards for you. Like, if you've been passed up for a job opportunity, don't like call them or like apply again to a different position in the company. Like, don't chase after them. Like, be like, okay, I accept your choices. I accept, you know, that you've chosen another candidate over me. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Like, leave it at that. And like, let them chase over you. I feel like there's gonna be, for some people watching this, it's gonna be like the person that they gave the opportunity to can no longer do it, can no longer fulfill the position, and they're gonna come calling back to you for some people. And it's the same thing with like a relationship where like they chose somebody else, or like they were thinking about choosing somebody else, and they find out that that person is like dating someone else, and so they'll choose you. And then I feel like you need to be like on your high horse. You need to be on your throne. Like, oh, you chose me. Like, you know, you had to come back to me, huh? Like I don't know, like let them bend over backwards, basically. Fill yourself up. I feel like we need to get what your guides look like for some reason. We'll do that quickly. This is the most cards I've gotten. I feel like it's because your message is like short and sweet. Oh, what do your guides look like? One of them is a man or a masculine presenting. I feel like tall, and they might feel hot. Like if they ever touch your skin, it'll feel warm. A hot touch, or it'll be like, I don't know, you're outside and the sun like hits your face just so. I know for a lot of people it's winter. I just happen to live in Texas, so it's like it's hot year round. Thus this. but there's an element of heat to them. Like maybe you have a candle and the flame like flickers a certain way. That's this spirit guide, and they're very healing. So if you ever need healing, like call on them. They're associated with the number 51 or 55 or 5 or 1s and the number 6. So another one is feminine presenting. I feel like this one comes around a lot at night. And look, 52. They're right back. I feel like there are 3 of them in total surrounding you now with this community card at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this one comes around more in the daytime with heat, but not necessarily. I feel like they could come any time of the day. But this one in particular comes at night. Likes to come at night when it's dark. Maybe in like even dark spaces, like in the movie theater or in the car when you're driving home. I feel like this one is also associated with like light, but not necessarily heat, but light. And I feel like this one is more like sensations, like a feeling that you have. Whereas this one, if they want to like get your attention, they'll just touch you. This one will just be like a sixth sense of like awareness of like, oh, something just shifted. Somebody's here. Like you'll feel it. I feel like this one does have like a colder like temperature to them, but I feel like they won't touch you. I feel like this one won't touch your skin, so you won't feel like the ice. I feel like you don't like to be cold, so I feel like they know that they respect you. They won't touch you. But I feel like this one might also have like a lifetime or lifetimes in colder temperature areas, like tundra, Canada, Alaska, somewhere like that. So this could be 3 in total, or it could be like 3 young souls, very youthful souls, like little babies, very youthful souls, like running around just to like peek in and say hey. Like, oh, hey, ha, 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 ha. They're very young, jovial, and innocent. And I feel like they just come in and go out. Like, they don't, like, stay around to, like, give messages. They just like you. Or they like wherever you live. Like, maybe they like that area. And they just come in and say, ah, hi, giggle. Maybe they, like, close a door, slam a door, and, like, move your stuff around for fun. Stuff like that. Very lighthearted, very sweet, very innocent. All right, pile number 3. This has been your reading. I hope that these messages resonated for you. Please leave a comment. If it did, you can put yes, yes, yes in the comment. You can put green aventurine in the comment. Subscribe. Personal readings for me are open. They are open. Simply email me if you want to get a sensitivity kit for $11. You can do that. Those are semi-personal readings, 500 plus, not $500. They're only $11. 500 plus words, channel messages. Like I said, semi-personal, and you can get those from me fairly quickly. Just email me, queensensitivity1@gmail.com. The number 1, not the word. And if you simply like to just support me via donation, I would really appreciate that. Times are hard. There's the PayPal information, and I think Venmo in the description as well. But thank you so much. I hope these messages resonated, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Go get a nap. You're tired. Go sleep. Pile 4. Sorry if that was gross. The message I'm getting right away is that you don't have to talk as much as you think you do. Like, you don't have to, like, be so obvious. Your energy says enough. This bold color looks like VP to me. Like vice president, very important person, VIP. You don't have to say as much as you think you do. Your energy says it all. Because I felt like when I was like tapping into this energy, like I feel like, oh, maybe I should like text this person and like tell them explicitly like what I think or like how I feel. And the energy came back to me and it was like, you don't have to do, like, you're like, they know, like, off of your energy, people just know. They know how to talk to you. They know who you are. And this is why you get, a lot of people will like part the sea. They will move away from you because they know that you require like big energy. You require authenticity, and they don't got it, so they move out of the way. It's called the energy that you exude make the fool stay away. That's the Jay-Z line when he was talking about Beyonce. Like, the energy she exudes keeps the flies away. They don't fuck with her because they already know she's not to be fucked with. She doesn't have to say it. They just don't. And I feel like this with you is true in like many areas of your life. That's why I said you'll get people who will just move out of your way. You'll get people who will approach you with the correct energy and respect. And then you'll get people who will like talk about you in a negative way, but always on the outskirts. They'll never say it directly to you because they're afraid of you. Like, you'll get people who are afraid of you and their energy and how direct you are. So I feel like with you, Power 4, right off the bat, you're just an owner. You are an owner. And I don't even want to say necessarily like entrepreneur, because I feel like that is so like overly used. So I'll say you are an owner. You own yourself. You own a room. You own a space. You own your energy signature. You own it. You don't borrow it. And I feel like I've just gone on and on about the same thing. Basically, if you skip the intro, this is Pile 1 / Pile 4. And there's going to be a heavy emphasis in this one on your guide. So with you, I'm seeing visuals of the actual thumbnail that I intend to use with this one. It's very futuristic, very AI looking, mindscape, very fun and like pushing. It's very forward thinking. And I feel like that's you. And so what I want to say is like, I'm feeling this energy here. I'm feeling to say like, don't compromise. And it's coming to mind Harry Styles. It's so crazy because I felt so tired in Pile 3 and I was like, am I going to have energy for Pile 4? I feel like I have plenty of energy now. So I know now that was Pile 3's energy / Pile 2's. Hold on. There's like this feeling here. Hold on. There's almost like this hand, like there's this like someone like popped in when I started getting into your energy, popped in and was like, I'm gonna sit here and like listen in, like, cause I want to get your attention. You definitely have guys, and like what I was saying about like the future, like it looking very 5D, like in another reality, in another dimension type of vibe. I was gonna say, I keep seeing Harry Styles and how he was obviously, like, at least to me, I feel like to everyone though, he was obviously like the main guy of One Direction. He was the direction. It was always gonna hit it. He's always gonna be the biggest artist that came out of that group because there's just something about him. And I feel like he also doesn't talk much. He doesn't like talk like too little, but he also doesn't like talk too much. He has this very like, I speak for myself, and I feel like a lot of people make assumptions about him based off of like what he doesn't say, much more so than what he does say. But I remember watching one of his interviews with Zayn Lau. I don't know how to say his last name. Not the one that was in the band. And he was saying how he always, like, he felt nervous, like the first time he like made his first album, the self-titled one, on his own, that like people wouldn't care about what he had to say because they were so used to, he was so used to having people showing up to listen to for other people, not just for him. And so it was like this, it was this transition, this insecurity that came up. And I feel like you have that, like where you're afraid like just you won't be enough, like people will need something more. And I definitely have this with myself. Like I'm like, this product that I have isn't enough on its own. Like it has to have something else in order to be worth it. But that's not true. And that's not necessarily how people even view you and what you have to offer. I feel like when you're in your ownership energy, which you naturally are, like you sell. I want to say like sex sells. Like you sell just you by yourself with not a lot of commotion. And because you're you, your products will always be high quality. Like Harry Styles, they're always going to have high quality lyrics and instrumentation and vocals and, you know, layers. He always makes things with such care. So it's innate. You don't need to have, like, I don't think any of his albums have had features, now that I think about it. Yeah, he drops no feature albums 3 times now, right? Or 4. There was the first one, and there was Fine Line, and then there's Harry's House. I feel like there's one more in between. It could just be 3 though. Maybe I'm like seeing when it hasn't happened yet. There's this crystal here. I think it's called Dragon something. But it's very like flaky. See, it's already on my hand just from that. God damn, it won't focus. It's very like flaky. It comes off very easily, but it's so powerful. And I feel like just because it is easily like, I don't know, but just because it's delicate and fine doesn't mean like it doesn't pack a punch. It's very strong. You just have to treat it differently than the other ones. And I feel like that's like the message for you. I feel like what's happening with this tiger's eye and then this, I think this is a jet. Yeah, I think it's too light to be obsidian. With you, this tiger's eye and this jet, and even this person that's here, it's a male. Look, they have like pale light blue skin. Yeah, kind of like the bubblegum wrapper. Like pale light blue skin. It's like they're here to support you in this step, in this phase of becoming a mogul. And it's not a mogul in a sense that everybody else has been a mogul, but like an ingenue, is that the word? Like someone who brings in a new energy that is profound, and after that everybody else like scrambles to copy it, but you were the first. It's almost like the first like web browser. I don't know what the first one was. Yahoo, whatever the fuck, like the first social media page, MySpace, whatever the first one was, and then everybody else like scrambles it. Like nobody was doing that before, but like they are now because you are that kind of person. Innovator, that's the word. Like you and your innovation. 133. You're an innovator. And that's why this is happening. I feel like you're going to or are experiencing this crumbling, this inability to stick with the normal laid out landmine, the normal path. And I feel this struggle within myself a lot of like, I don't like this path of like other people, even like tarot readers. I'm like, I don't want to do my readings the same way as everybody else. I don't want to always use cards. Sometimes I just want to tell the messages. And if a card is needed, then a card is needed, but I don't want it to have to be that way. You know, I don't want to, and I've always been like this. I've always been very innovative, and I feel like it's the same way for you, but we get shamed and we get told to like stay in line. And I feel like there's this crumbling that is happening where you know you cannot stay in line. I feel like you also feel like I need a partner, like I need a support system to constantly be there to like reassure me and to support me. And it's kind of like what I was saying about Beyonce and her being like, the confidence she exudes make the fool stay away, and how she had Jay-Z to support her and ground her when she had these crazy ideas about her Who Run the World Girls, her performance where she was like using the back screen to kind of mimic her movements. It was a different type of artistry. Nobody was doing that. I never seen anything like that. I think I've seen stuff like that since, but I hadn't seen it before. And granted, I was young, but I would argue that she was probably the first person to do that. She was the first person to do a lot of things, incorporate different dance techniques in her videos and release videos in a certain way, and have an album where she had an alter ego as the A track and the B track and all these different things. And she needed that support system, whether it was Jay-Z, her sister, or her mother, whoever behind the scenes holding her and lifting her up. And I feel like that's also what's coming in for you. That's why these two things are happening. That's why you're feeling the crumbling, and that's why you have this ache in you to have a partner. And maybe this spirit guide is here to assist with that. I want to get out the Legendary Ladies Oracle. We haven't used her in a while. There's even a little bit of dust on you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, a lot of beings like to be around you. We're going to use two decks. We're going to use this one, and we're going to use this tarot deck that's been here the whole time throughout all the readings that I just never used. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oof. Somebody coming from the past. What's going on there? Oh, the Magician and the Hangman. We're going to get both of these because I kept seeing the Hangman. Okay. And then this one. My deck is King of Cups. So I feel like there is someone coming in if they're not already in. And if they're already in, I feel like they're just going to expedite this feeling of everything must go. Everything must go still. Like if you've been thinking, I want to change my wardrobe, I want to change my hair, I want to do a hairstyle I've never done before. And like for me, that would be a big deal. I've done a lot of hairstyles. Like if I'm like, I want to do something else I haven't done before. I want my room to look different. I want the shoes I wear to be different. I'm thinking about moving to a different state, getting a job in a completely different area than I've done before. Like if you're feeling like that, like having this person around will only speed it up. And I want to say this, even though there's a lot of like heat around Jay-Z right now, and like more things could potentially come up, I feel like what I say will always be true, because there's like this idea that people, you know, want to be feminist, and they're like, oh, I think Beyonce could have always been like to the level that she is without Jay-Z. And my mother and I will argue down that that is not true at all, because she needed him to challenge her, to push her, to curse her, to bless her, to lift her up, as well as I feel like in his own energetic way, like to tug her down. Like if you think about like the Lemonade album wouldn't have happened if he hadn't fucked up. But because he did, it unleashed something in her. And also through him, she experienced motherhood, which also had this huge impact on her, because she wrote the Beyonce album after Blue Ivy and had Blue Ivy during the 4 album. And so it's like all these things were in partnership and through her relationship with Jay-Z. Before we flip over the rest of these cards, we're gonna get these Oracle Legendary Ladies cards. Can we like shift this down? I want you to see. Look at my waist. While you're waiting, go ahead and subscribe. There you go. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a comment. We're gonna get this one. Ooh, 2. Leave a comment and what's it called? Check out my Sacred Sound Bath, which is on my Ko-fi page. Consider getting a personal reading with me. I'm hearing no. Consider getting a personal reading with me. Just email me at queensensitivity1@gmail. This last one here, please. Just one. I still feel like there's something else. What is it? What's the something else? Okay. And consider getting personal sound bath. It's on my Ko-fi page, and it helps with clearing, cleansing your energy. Be on the lookout for affirmation videos. I'm gonna start adding those to my channel with extended editions available on my Ko-fi. I would very much like your support. If you're able to send me a donation, I would be so appreciative. But either way, I'm so grateful that you're here spending time with me and sharing this energetic connection with me, the spiritual connection, 4141. So let's do the Magician first and the Hangman, since they both came out and since they're both major arcana. Spirit, your spirit guides, as this is happening, this crumbling and this union / reunion for all of us, because we always know people before, is to be in your magician energy, but in a very slowed down way. Like, and also in like the hangman, the whole point of the hangman is to see things from a different perspective. So it's like I was saying, doing things in a different way. An example would be me doing these readings in a different way than I've done. I never used to record videos from this angle. I did a lot of videos in the previous years of like looking at the cards instead of my face, how I started. But now it's my face, but I'm also doing them in a different way than I've done before. But it's not like too much to the point of like me being extra. Like there's no need to be overly extra, overly working yourself. Do things anew. Do things from the magician creator position, but also in a slowed kind of way. Don't force yourself to go overboard and go above and beyond. And I would also recommend looking into like symbolism, like doing research on symbolism, because there's a lot of like little symbols, like runes here. And then also like this infinity symbol here and the tattoo. And even here, these little symbols of the earth and fire symbols. Clarifying these are Parvati, spirit, and rhythm, Morgan, the Morgan. It's so interesting. I've heard both of these names before from like pop culture things, like book and then like a show. What I'm getting from this is like things that we've been told are like fictional are indeed real. Like for some reason this is reminding me Parvati of that show The Magicians, and how there was a whole school for magical students. It was just like hidden behind like this spell, this rune or something. But if you got past it, you would see it plain as day in New York, I think, in Manhattan. I feel like that's real. I feel like there is a school for like magic, but I don't think it's, well, it's probably the same as the magicians. I feel like it's very corrupted. I feel like there's schools here where they teach people how to like energy harvest and like do these satanic rituals that steal people's energy and light and use them to create their own riches. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like for some reason you're gonna be a part of like making those be known and also end. I feel like they've already ended, to be honest. Almost said to be fair, but like the grounds of them and where they took, like the details of them are coming out. I'm hearing some of these cults are like more spiritual like than we think. Like they're, you know, all these documentaries coming out about these people in these cults. They're like, there's something deeper to them than we think. Kind of like how on that show The Boys, where they went to like that Christian festival and it was like intentionally being manipulated by the people with the superpowers. Like they knew what they were doing. And because I'm getting like this channel message now underneath like clarifying this magician card, see how I'm like getting this information from just home, sitting here. I don't have to go out and do research. I don't have to like look up all this shit online. That's what you're encouraged to do and to share it. I also feel like, and I'm feeling like fear coming up in my chest. There's no need to be afraid. And I feel like, especially now that these things have already ended and are coming to an end, like you just be reporting on like something that's already cold, you know? Whereas in the past, it would have been hot. I don't know, just take that how you will. I don't know where all that was coming from, but just take it how you will. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And we have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like that's what everybody wants to. Everybody wonders what it would be like to love you. Walk past, quick brush. I don't like slow motion, double vision in a rose blush. I don't like the falling, feels like flying till the bone crush. Everybody wants you, but I don't like the gold rush. What must it be like to grow up that beautiful? Okay, anyway, it's called Gold Rush by Taylor Swift. Evermore album, right? Yep. There's, I feel like this is multiple people. I feel like multiple people want you. Just flow with me, pile 4. Just flow with me, because I know these messages are like all over the place, but I'm guessing they're from your guides, so they're important, or they're just in your energy, and that your soul wants me to share them back with you to confirm some things. A lot of people want you, and I feel like most of the people who want you, like much like Beyonce and other stars, know that a lot of other people want you, and so it makes them feel stuck even though they're not stuck. See, the thing is, with your energy being so like strong, it pushes a lot of people off, and so they think that you get a lot of attention, which you do, but you don't get a lot of like genuine interactions. And it like, if more people did, like I feel like they would get a shot, but they don't. Like you would probably say yes to people who tried genuinely, but they just don't, out of fear, which is good because it pushes people, like it saves you a lot of time. But I feel like there might be someone in particular in your life right now who's feeling like this, who's feeling like left out in the cold, isolated, left down, trapped, left out, let down, trapped, because they know that so many people want you. And it's like, who am I? Yeah, these cards keep moving. Who am I to think, oh, I could have this person. Look how beautiful. You have great boobs or a good chest. Fresh start. Aw. Somebody wants a fresh start. Look how they're like looking at this, like longingly at the fresh start. Chal chi you ti look you. I don't know how to pronounce that. Then it's obviously Gaia. I feel like you're so grounding to this person. Like you're so grounding. You make them feel like they're connected to everything. They want to give you things. I feel like they want to like dress you up. They want to give you things. But I feel like they're also scared. Like look how the eyes are closed. And there's like blush on the cheeks. They'd rather work behind the scenes and like secretly pine over you than let you know how deeply like you own them. Like you own them. Like you have all their time, you have their whole heart, and they're so scared of you having their whole heart because they know how easily you could just skip to the next person. You know, they know how easily you could replace them. Okay, last one. Aww. What? So you do have a union coming in. I don't know if it's this person that's like sad and like feeling like a little baby, a little puppy dog love. Like my mother went to the store. Is she ever gonna come back? And then they get excited when you come back, like that little puppy. I don't know if it's the same person, but there's definitely, look, it's on the horizon. Araki na saraka. On the horizon, araki. It's clarified by desire. Whew, this is the one that came out last. I was like, I feel like there's something else. This is the one that was something else. It's clarified by desire and renewal. So maybe it is this person with the fresh start. But maybe not, because like we did see the Six of Cups earlier, which I said it could be someone coming back from the past, or it could be just someone that you knew before coming here, like on the other side, in a past life, in a different dimension, you knew each other and like you're gonna reunite here. I feel like this person is fine. I feel like the desire, the heat be heating. I feel like this is the kind of person where like you could have sex with them on the first date, like that type of intensity where like I cannot resist, I cannot hold back, or where it like takes everything in you to hold back from the first date. It's that intense. I feel like the desire in this connection is gonna be so fucking sizzling and loud that in like the simplest spaces, an elevator, a car, a brush of a finger, like you'll think about it all day long. It'll be replayed in your mind, that moment, like from Pride and Prejudice where Mr. Darcy like touched her hand, like there was a brief moment, like something like that. I feel like that might be how like your first or reintroduced first interaction goes, where it's like a little thing, and it just, you went from like it was before, and then now after this you think about this person relentlessly, and you think it's this crush, and you're like, I haven't had a crush like this in forever. And then like you finally like get close with this person, and it's like it's everything you can do not to jump their bones, and vice versa. One of you might have dark skin and light skin, really doesn't matter, but I'm definitely feeling like there's like two different races or two different cultures for sure. I'm getting shivers. Oh my God. As I said that, I got shivers. Like somebody potentially from an Asian culture specifically, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. If they're not Asian, or you're not Asian, of Asian descent, because you could Asian American. If you're not of Asian descent, if they're not of Asian descent, it could be that you both have like a likeness for Asian foods, Asian cultures, things like that. But yeah, look at this, like how she's like holding like her collarbone. It's like, whoo, whoo. And I feel like because I keep mentioning like Mr. Darcy and this Bridgerton type of vibe, I feel like y'all had like a past life where like kissing in public was like, you had to be married, like you couldn't be alone with somebody, you know. In that way, it was seen as scandalous. And then now, like, I feel like that's where this restraint comes from, because having to hold back in that lifetime, like having to resist and be like, no, we can't do it because we have to get married. And I don't know, maybe something got in the way. Maybe you did eventually get married, but in this lifetime, that energy was still pent up. So it gotta get unpent. I feel like I want to read this one. I did not expect this to come out, and like, this is happening for a reason. This is happening to like set you completely free, because you have a big destiny, you have a big fate, a big purpose, an intention, and the crumbling, and this person is helping to push you. Oh, a huge click. I hope you heard that. Subscribe. This person is like pushing you to that reality, to that consciousness. Inanna. I can't pronounce it. I'm so American. I can't pronounce shit. So this is a Sumerian person. Queen of Heaven, Inanna, embraces all those who seek her care. Accept her wisdom and gifts to find what your heart truly longs for. Now is the time to give in to your desires. Accept what is truly yours and release what isn't. Wow, and it's right next to the other one. Let me show you. Look at that. It's the other card. You see Wang Mu? They're right next to each other. If this is not giving divine counterparts, I don't know what the fuck is. This is giving divine counterparts. It's literally right next to each other. Like, they can't help it. Oh my gosh. You know what it's giving me specifically? It's giving me Anthony. And what do I forget her name? In the I need to watch it. Bridgerton season 2. Where like they like, once they were like giving into their feelings, there was this scene where she was like, the little sister was like, I don't know how, like, I didn't notice it before, like, you two are insufferable, you're like all over each other. And like, she would walk by and he'd like be like sniffing the air because her scent like passed by, and like, it was just so fucking intense. Horses might be important in that sense. So this person is Chinese. Goddess Hisi Wang Mu shares her secret elixir for eternal life and renewal with you. Take this chance to either start over or put extra effort into what you're focused on. So as this connection arrives, or as it has arrived, it is fully, you have full permission, full consent to go full steam ahead. I'm even seeing that book, Things We Left Behind. Or is it Things We Never Got Over? I think it's Things We Never Got Over. It's the first book. By Lucy Score, the first book in that Knockmount series. Yeah, you two are supposed to be together. So like, you don't have to wait if you don't want to. Feel free to go full steam ahead. Do what you will. I think I want to get one last card. Go ahead and leave a comment. Okay, like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with your friends. Email me for a personal reading. Make a donation to support. What's the last thing that my innovative, magnificent pile number 3 that's gonna change the world? What's something they need to know in that aspect of like changing the world, being an innovator, like their idea? What do they need to like get going? What's something they need to like focus on? What's a clue, a sign that they need in this regard to bring that abundance and manifestation into their life? All tied up. So I feel like, yeah, and then hostilities, but then underneath that is blossoming abundance. So I feel like with these 3 cards, you can't know, like, I don't know, like if you don't have any ideas or you don't know how this is gonna happen or what the next step is, you're not supposed to know. You're not supposed to know yet. It's just gonna be a happening. And it's very, very divine timing oriented. Divine timing oriented. So as I said with these cards earlier, if you need to go back and listen to what I said, do that. But just know, like I said before, when this comes, no innuendo intended, full steam ahead. Okay? That's all for you, pile number 4. Did I say pile number 3? Pile number 4 says pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time. Bye.